Well, I'm joined for a closer look at this by Daniel Benjamin, the director of the John Sloan Dickey Center at Dartmouth College and the former coordinator for counter-terrorism at the US State Department. Hello and welcome to Euronews. Thanks very much for talking to us. It's believed that Osama bin Laden was grooming Hamza to replace him in the event of his death. What more do we know about Hamza and why he's seen now as an emerging threat?
Bin Laden apparently did have an interest in grooming Hamza, who was the son who had some charisma, had been shown to be a supporter of the jihadist movement. But remember, he had not seen his father at the time of his father's death for some 10 years, and really had not seen him since he was a boy. And I think it's important in this context to see that Hamza's utility to the organization is in replacing, or at least adding, to a leadership that is somewhat moribund and unbelievably ill-suited to inspire young men to take up the cause. Ayman al-Zawahiri has been running this group since bin Laden's death. And he is the sort of person who could have put the Soviet Politburo to sleep with all of his polemics. And by turning to Hamza bin Laden, they're trying to find a young face and one with a distinguished lineage.
Now it took the US many years to track down Osama bin Laden and finally kill him in Pakistan. What do we know about the whereabouts of Hamza and the US efforts to try and find him?
Well, I don't think we know very much, and that's part of the reason why the reward was put out, because he's perceived to be coming up in the ranks or becoming a more influential, more important person, precisely because he can play this leadership role. Remember, it took us 10 years to find bin Laden, and we still haven't found Ayman al-Zawahiri. It is a big and forbidding area to search for people, and my guess is that the organization will do its very best to keep him under wraps. That, in addition, though, will limit his ability to actually direct operations. He has no background in operations, and the fact that he is hidden far away means that his role in the day-to-day organization will be somewhat limited.
Al-Qaeda has been eclipsed in recent years by the rise of the so-called Islamic State. Now that we're seeing the IS declining in the power it can wield, it's losing all territory. Donald Trump just declared that IS had lost 100% of its territory. It's down to a very small sliver of land. Could Al-Qaeda re-emerge to replace so-called Islamic State as the main Islamist terrorist threat to the West?
Well, they're very different organizations. It's a mistake to say that IS's threat has disappeared. They still have thousands of fighters in the field. They have not been principally focused on out-of-area attacks, although they have certainly carried out a number. And with foreign fighters, some foreign fighters headed home, they will continue to be a threat. Al-Qaeda retains a large presence in Syria. And has affiliates in Yemen and a number of other places where, it's very viable. So I expect that Al-Qaeda will try to rebuild its capability and will probably also try to acquire a broader membership. Remember, ISIS was vastly, vastly larger than Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda was always a relatively small clandestine network. And I think that Al-Qaeda is probably happy that it never held territory the way ISIS did. At the same time, right now, it probably feels like it needs to capture more hearts and minds. And so Hamza bin Laden is, I think, just the person that they want to perform that function.
Daniel Benjamin, director of the John Sloan Dickey Center at Dartmouth College. Good to get your insight on that issue. Thank you very much.